We are live. Welcome back. It's been a long time, and by a long time, 24 hours. Welcome back to another watch party. Let me get myself up. We're back. I'm basically in the same attire, so it's like I haven't even left my seat. We are back for another tester. A big tester. It is the Nets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are 10-0. We are 4-5. And we were resigned to that outcome, that record, after a loss yesterday against Boston. And you can see that was the final score in your bottom left, 108-104. We've got some quotes from the game, and we've also got the box score output from the game. Cam Thomas was the high man in this one. He scored 31, and Dennis Schroeder scored a very inefficient 20. He took 23 shots. That was the story of the game, really, yesterday. We could not buy a bucket. We went on 41-26 shooting splits. 41% from the field, 26% from three. So it was pretty dire viewing, but our defense held up. And that's what kept us in the game for so long to basically give us a red hot crack of winning the game. I mean, to be fair, like that start made it look like it was going to be something pretty hilarious from our end and even Boston's end, because we probably had no business winning that game. And we yet again had an opportunity to get the job done. We got a couple free throws late through Cam Johnson, but he had an open three about 10 seconds before he got fouled. So there was great opportunity to steal one there. But obviously we moved forward, and the Cavaliers are pretty strong, and their starting five exhibits exactly that. They are playing their best five-man group that they possibly could put out. And look, I think a big key of them, taking a bigger jump this season, Darius Garland has been an absolute weapon for the Cavaliers. I would imagine they're leading in a number of categories. I mean, yesterday they dropped, I think, 13 first half threes on the Warriors. So they basically gave them a taste of their own medicine, and they led by 41 at the break. Now, if it's 41 points at the break again, I'm probably just going to pack it in and go home. Because, yeah, I think the stream may have to end. And I may have to just detach myself from the Nets franchise, because that'd be very unacceptable. But Darius Garland's been really key for them. He scored 20.5 points a game. He's shooting threes at a 48% clip, which is just an incredible outlier on any other season he's ever set field in the NBA. And he's taking those at 7.5 attempts. So he is shooting the ball lights out on high volume, and that is one key reason. Evan Mobley is the other guy who's, I think, in his third year, and he's taken a big jump, and he's going to be someone that we really are going to have a bit of difficulty dealing with. I feel like, well, Allen's going to be on Claxton. Finney-Smith is probably going to get that matchup on Mobley, and I would imagine Cam Thomas is going to take a Coro, which would leave Cam Johnson to take one of Garland or Mitchell, and then you've got Schroeder taking the other. I'm going to say that Cam Johnson takes Donovan Mitchell, or maybe they'll go DFS on Mitchell. He played a very good game yesterday on Jason Tatum, and he's going to be pretty refreshed for this one, because we managed the minutes in such a way that Ben Simmons played probably the most minutes he's played in a game all season. And that left DFS and Ben Simmons to have a little bit of or not Ben Simmons, DFS and Claxton to have a bit of a breather. And they only played 31. I think DFS played 31 minutes. Claxton played 28. So those guys are not, they haven't exerted maximum energy last night. They didn't exert maximum energy last night. So those two are going to be pretty key cogs tonight. They're going to play a lot of minutes because no Ben Simmons. Noah Clowney did not play last night. And I would imagine that's probably because we wanted to save him for this match and have a pretty fresh rotation in the front court on the second night of a back-to-back. So that's going to be, I would imagine, the main point of focus. That is probably my main observation. But overall, I'm pretty happy with what the team's been able to do. I don't know why the what is it called? The scroll is just shitting itself a little bit. Just cut off. Oh well. So there is a very interesting sort of match going on here tonight because the Cavaliers have been a force to be reckoned with. In the previous few meetings we've played against them, we have only won one of the last 5. There's been quite a few close games in there. We did play them in Paris earlier this year, at the very start of the year, I believe, and that was a 111-102 win to the Cavaliers, but that was a slog, that game. I remember vividly, no one could make a shot. And looking back here at the box score, Lonnie Walker scored 20, and he was shooting the ball lights out. But Cam Thomas came off the bench, scored 26. Bridges scored 26, but he only made 6 field goals. So Cam Johnson and Finney Smith made a field goal between them. So, and that's even when we had Spencer and Royce O'Neal as well. They also combined for 1 field goal. So between those two, and then Finney Smith and Cam Johnson, they had made 2 field goals, which is a huge part of the problem when you're playing heavy sort of minutes. So in that game, Mitchell scored 45 as well. LeVert scored 21 off the bench, and they didn't have Darius Garland in that matchup. So it was the Donovan Mitchell show, which is mainly why I'm expecting him to just go completely batshit crazy in this game. The last game we played, though, was at this venue, and we won that convincingly. It was a third quarter sprint, basically, that got us the win in that match. And I do remember it was I think it was the Cam Thomas show in that game, off memory. Cam Thomas scored 29. He made 5 threes. And then Schroeder made 3 threes. Doe made 3 threes. Mikal Bridges hit 5 threes. He scored 25. So all 5 starters got in double figures. And I think that's going to be the kind of contribution we're going to need today. And we're going to need to see more efficient shooting. I've liked what Cam Johnson has done with his shot selection. It seems like he's getting a few more 2s off, which is always important because I don't think he's really got that balance or had that balance for some time until this year. It seems like when the ball is moving and it feels like Geordie's emphasized cutting a lot more, Cam Johnson has been on the end of that, as much like Jalen Wilson and Zaire Williams and these sorts of wings. So, we don't have the facilitation to sort of honor that in this game because there's no Ben, and he was dishing out a few dimes, which was good to see last night. He had 8 of those, I think, but we are missing that in this game. Anything else to note? Well, the last time we played the Cavaliers, our first game against the Cavaliers last year was in Brooklyn. I think it was the second game, or no, it was opening night actually, and Max Strus hit 7 threes. Mitchell scored 27. They had 6 in double figures, and Mitchell scored the game winner. So I don't remember how that game actually went. Looks like it was pretty close. It was dead even at halftime, and I'm trying to look at the major key pointers here. Bench points, we had 65 bench points to their 17, and I imagine that's because Cam Thomas scored a bunch off the bench, and Lonnie Walker was great. So Cam 36 off the bench, Finney Smith came off the bench for 10, and DSJ had 10 off the bench. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but we're about to get this one underway. If if we deliver something similar to that, I will be very happy. Especially given the Cavaliers have just started this season like a house on fire. So the Nets are wearing the statement uniforms, those black ones. I mean, obviously they're wearing black, but it's like the other version, the other variant, not the traditionals. Alrighty. Okay. It's very much, it's a reunion on a number of levels here. I mean, granted, we've played Jared Allen and Karis LeVert a number of times, but you know, obviously former Nets, and then Kenny Atkinson completes the trio. But this will be his first game coaching against the Nets. The last time he coached was 2019 as a head coach. We're about to get this one underway. It is the Nets and Cavaliers. The Cavaliers unbeaten in 10, the Nets 4-5, but playing better than that. The tip is won by the Cavaliers, and we're underway in this game. So it looks like Johnson is taking Mitchell as expected, as we called beforehand, and Thomas will take Okoro, unsurprisingly. Mitchell tries to maneuver through. That's a good contest there by CJ, and the rebound by Claxton. We got off to a 16-2 start yesterday, so I'm not sure if we're going to replicate that tonight, but, you know, we've been the surprising outfit this year, so anything could happen. Nothing is outside the realm of possibility. Thomas picks up his dribble, and he's got to pass it out to the corner for Finney Smith, who body bumps, gets one up, and scores for two with the push shot, the right-handed push shot. And then Garland nearly stood out of bounds off that inbound play. Schroeder did well to pressure. Finney Smith is going to be physical, and that's a way too easy of a cut to Garland. Great find by Mobley, who I believe has established himself as a bit of a playmaker this year. So Schroeder on the outside, on that left wing. High screen by Claxton. Finney Smith catch and shoot three. You knew that was short off the rip. The Cavaliers with the rebound. Garland absolutely fizzles it to Mobley under the basket, but it went off his hands, and it is Nets ball. So turnover one for the Cavaliers. The Nets did a good job of forcing turnovers yesterday against Boston in the early going. That was a pretty huge reason of why they led by as much as they did. Claxton, defense collapses. He had Thomas open in the corner, but he took it himself and scored off the glass, the banker, for two. Clax is on the board. He only made one field goal last night, so he'll look to get a little bit more involved in the offense. Mobley's open for three. That contest was half-assed, and it was punished. Mobley makes his first bucket of the game, and I believe he's lifted his three-point shooting drastically. Thomas is going to try respond on the left wing. It's off, and the board by Mobley is doing a bit of everything at the moment. Bounce pass. Mitchell makes a three. Here we go. The barrage. So Cavaliers have made a couple of shots now. I imagine they're going to shoot the ball really well, and defensively they're pretty sound. Thomas takes it in, forced out into a pass. Schroeder three is good. Nice response there by the Nets. And Schroeder is on the board, who did not shoot the ball well from three last night. I think he was 2 of 8. High screen set. Switch. Three. And that rims out. A full 360. It's off, and the Nets are going to run and gun through Johnson. And there is a foul. And that was a pretty good contest there by Donovan Mitchell, but the sensible thing to do there, given it was a one-man fast break for the Nets. The Cavaliers were getting numbers back, but weren't solidified in their formation. And so they're forced into a couple of free throws here. Or giving away a couple of free throws. It's Cam Johnson for 2. The Cavs up 8-7 early. And Johnson's first free throw is good. So I think the key thing here is going to be doing a lot of what we did last night. We've got to make it as physical as possible against the Cavaliers, which is going to be tough work because the second night of a back-to-back, I feel like fatigue may set in the later game, but we've got to do the hard yards early on to give ourselves a good chance of, well, staying in the game, because I think that's the key thing, given the Cavaliers are so ridiculously good. Well done by Cam Thomas to force Donovan into picking up the dribble. Okoro gets inside and is able to muscle his way to the rim and score for 2. So 10-9. Okoro's on the board, and nearly every Cavalier's gotten involved in that respect. Schroeder in the corner. 1-on-1 with Mobley. Inches his way back out to the perimeter. Drives it in and kicks it back out. The 1-2. Schroeder sets the feet, and the 3 is off. And Okoro will collect right in front of the Nets bench. Mitchell getting picked up in the backcourt by Johnson. Screen and switch. And Donovan Mitchell's hit another 3. You just know he's on. Last night he couldn't buy a bucket. I think it was 4 of 12 or 4 of 13. He's already made, I think, his first 3 shots. He's hit a couple of 3s early on. Claxton passes to Thomas, who weaved inside. The kick out to Finney-Smith. He set the feed and made the shot. So the Nets are making their buckets early. And while the defense is leaving a little bit to be desired. Oh no, not again. Oh my God. That is fucking bullshit. Donovan Mitchell has made all 3 of his 3-point attempts. You can't compare. Thomas, another open 3 for Finney-Smith. He's letting him fly, and it's basically practice shots. 16-15. We have 7 made 3s in the opening 5 minutes of the game between both teams. On very good efficiency. It's Garland rolling it back out to Mitchell. Do not give him an open look. Gets inside. Great feed to Garland. Ball fake. Kick out. Okoro. And we got a foul. So 3.4 seconds on the clock when that foul was committed. So pretty good defensive possession by the Nets. They were running the Cavaliers off the line, but it's going to result in free throws nonetheless. And the beneficiary is going to be Okoro. Good ball movement by the Cavaliers, though. They are testing us, but we're doing a good job of staying with them, man. Okoro's free throw is short on the first attempt. And I imagine, well, we've got changes already. 5 minutes in, and Clowney's coming on early to replace Finney-Smith, who's been on a heater. Bit of a bold move, but I imagine Doe is going to be playing some small ball 5 minutes. So they take him out early and play this lengthy group of Clowney and Claxton to go with Johnson. So Okoro's second free throw, lined up. And that's good. So a 2-point lead. And Shake Milton is into the game as well. So the Nets going a little bit deeper into their bench with quite a few absent. Claxton on the outside to Thomas, guarded by Okoro. Drive, layup, and he didn't get the call. And the Cavaliers will break out here. Merrill, cutter is Allen down the middle. Johnson does well to force him into a pass. It's an open 3, and it's off by Okoro, and the rebound by Clowney, who is, I imagine, very fresh because he hasn't played in a bit. Thomas to Clowney up top. He's going to hand it to Milton, guarded by Allen, and now Thomas on the left wing. He's going to try shake and bake here. Gets, oh wow. Got to the baseline, got fouled. He's going to shoot 2, but not after, or not until the timeout ends. And that's what we have right now. So 17-15 out the gate, which is a very good start. We're doing a good job of just staying within reach, because the Cavaliers have been, well, it's been basically a blowtorch, right? Like, pretty tough to stop them. Why the hell do I have the Pelicans one here? That's so strange. Hang on. I got to get the box score up. I got the one for the next game. Rookie mistakes. Hang on a second. Sorry, lads. Alrighty. Dorian Finney-Smith has gotten off to a cracking start. I tell you what. He's got 8 points. He is the high man. We've got Cam Thomas back in the player to watch spotlight because, you know, it's all good and well to do it in one game, but can you back it up? Last night he had 31, so we're going to need to see something similar here. Donovan Mitchell's got 9. All his points are accounted for by 3-point makes. And Garland's got 2. Okoro's got 3. Mobley has also made a 3 of his own. Cam Thomas is yet to get on the board, but he's got 4 dimes already. Cam Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, is a playmaker. He can pass the ball. And I've just got to update this, actually. Cam Thomas. He's put up 2 shots. He's going to get his first couple free throws here, but 4 dimes in half a quarter for Cam Thomas. That's, I reckon his PB for assists is like 6. So this is pretty strong. A very strong start there by the lads. Wait, hang on. I've muddled it up. It's 17-19 the Cavaliers way. Is it? Yeah. Wait. Oh no, I accidentally just added points. I'm not tripping out here. Okay, so 17-15. Cavaliers are up by 2. If you are enjoying the stream thus far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. CT with the 4 dimes, though, is a great sign to see because everyone will say he's a shot chucker. And well, on some occasions, maybe he is, but he's not as chronic as some people may think. So we've got free throws coming up here for CT to tie the game at 17 at the 6:17 mark. And Thomas makes free throw 1. So first points of the game coming at the free throw line for Thomas. As we've said, 4 dimes so far for CT. The second free throw is good. So Donovan Mitchell, thank God for that, is on the bench. Damari Carroll's on the bench. I didn't know he was a Cavaliers assistant. It's crazy. Zaire Williams is in, guarding Garland, which is nice to see. That's the assignment Zaire's been getting a lot of the time. Merrill for 3. You cannot lose him. Always those wraparound screens. Or he wraps around the screen every single time, loses the man, usually hits the shot. Thomas, turnaround J, didn't take it, gives it to Clowney in the post, and he's going to have to roll it back out. The cutter is Milton, but that pass was not on. And then Levert gets ahead, and the reverse is good. Nicely done there by Karras. And they're up by 5. I don't mind us playing that pass, but it seems like we do it by default. And you've just got to know when to make that pass. And I don't think Clowney had the right sense of awareness there. Here he is now, though. Oh, what a cut to Johnson. And we've got a foul +1. That is an elite dime by Clowney. I was just dissing him about the pass prior, but this one was an absolute laser to CJ. He almost did it all in one motion there, the gather and the shot. And Okoro committed the foul. So free throws here, or 1 free throw here for CJ, who did get to the line a couple of times last night. So 22-20. If last night it was motivated by defense, tonight it's been motivated by offense. 22-20, and we've still got 5 minutes left here in this opening quarter. I would imagine both teams are going to be pushing at least 35 points by the end of it, unless things come to a bit of a standstill. Allen's going to kick it out to Garland. the screen, the switch, and Clowney does well, but Garland does even better. And as I said, that's been the theme of the game so far. Can't speak at the moment, Jesus. So it feels like both teams are shooting like 60% each. Clowney out to Johnson. We got 6 to shoot, and we haven't even gotten into a set. Johnson, well defended by Allen. Johnson's going to have to put a tough one up, and it's an air ball, and it's going to be Cavalier ball. They'll be allowed to reset. So Wilson's into the game. Johnson will exit with 4:30 to play. Niang is in for the Cavaliers. He picks up his dribble and gives it to Garland. Niang will get it back. Zaire knocks it away. Wilson with the steal, and then he just threw it away, and the Cavaliers have an open shot under the basket. Oh, that's so hurtful. We were off to the races there. That was a great knock away by Z. And, I mean, the pass was on, but only for so long. We probably just had to get our numbers back. We weren't very good at that yesterday. We forced 13 turnovers, but we made 7 points. And that was a huge difference maker. We got outdone for fast break points last night, and that was a huge reason why. So, yeah. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like. Share your thoughts on the stream so far. In case you've missed it, Cam Thomas has been a great facilitator in the early going. He's got 2 points. Only 2 points, but he's dished out the ball brilliantly, and his teammates have actually been making shots. I think that's the key thing, right? Cam Thomas has been making a lot of passes, but it's been often to players like Finney-Smith and Johnson who haven't been converting. But today, Dorian Finney-Smith has already got 8 points. And with that is Thomas assists. But the Cavaliers have been highly efficient. If we look at the percentages at the moment, I mean, Nets are 6 of 11. That's pretty good. We've been at the line 5 times. But the real issue here is the Cavaliers are 5 of 7 from deep, and they're 10 of 13 from the field. So they've been practically flawless, yet we only find ourselves down 6, which is, I would consider, a win. And that's what the Cavaliers do to you. They just look so well orchestrated. I think that's the best word to use for it. Alrighty. So we're back from the break. 4 minutes or so to go in the first quarter. Alrighty. I don't think there's too many games going on around the league right now. Alrighty. So, the Nets have the ball, but that's due to them conceding. The Nets have Milton, Wilson, Schroeder, Zaire Williams, and Clowney on the floor. Wilson, the driving kick. Blocked by Levert. He saves it, but straight to Wilson. We've got 4 to shoot, and they've rolled it out like they've got 14. Drive, scoop, and the lay-in by Schroeder as the clock expires. That was a bailout. But Schroeder is prone to a good drive like that. And that case was no exception. Here's Levert. Pocket pass to Allen. Looked for the lob, but Clowney cut it off, and we've got a foul on Niang as he was trying to wrestle it back. So, the Nets have the ball, And they've been competing yet again. Good little turnover created there by Clowney. Good anticipation of that lob attempt. Schroeder on the outside. The screen by Williams. Clowney doesn't try the extra feed. Goes himself. And that was halfway down. It's off. Here's Levert. Switch. He's going to drive on Milton. Wraparound pass. It's off the legs. And it's going to be... Well... Well, I think the Nets were initially advocating for that to be a challenge by Jordi Fernandez, but then they waved it off. So the Cavaliers will take it here on the baseline. The Nets are in the bonus. You got to force that ball out of Mitchell's hands because he will score the basketball. And Levert stood on the sideline, so another turnover for the Cavaliers, but a dead ball turnover. So it's not going to allow us to really do much with that. We're going to have to play a half-court set here. But we can get it back down to a singular possession if we can get a make. Schroeder on the outside. They're looking to use that screen. The Cavs are playing a 2-3 zone. Are we going to work through it? It's Milton trying to go down the middle, but Merrill stays with him. Bounce pass behind, and Wilson's three is off. And a board for Mobley. Cross, knocked away by Clowney, and the Nets can fling it the other way. They've got the numbers as well. Schroeder sets the feet. The corner three is good, and it is back down to a 1-point deficit. The Cavaliers are turning the ball over just a little bit too much. Oh, piss off. That is just a bullshit foul. I would almost challenge that call. Mitchell's been fouled on a three by Jalen Wilson, but I'm not too sure if that's actually a foul. And are we challenging it? That is a kick out. That is not a foul. But we have not decided to challenge it. I reckon we would have almost won that challenge. Those 3 points could be very handy down the line. But instead, it's going to be free throws for Mitchell, and he makes the first to get that back up to 2. Second free throw coming up now for Mitchell, and he makes the second. So he's the first player on the court in double figures. He's now got 11. And there's another make. So 29-25. Closing in on the final 2 minutes of this opening quarter, the Nets have done a pretty good job. Cavaliers running that zone again. Schroeder. Milton. We're going to need to see some more cutting action, I think. Clowney gets to the basket. Turn around to Williams, who relocated into the corner, and that rims out. That's a very good look, though. Mitchell on the outside, guarded by Milton. We gave him way too much space, but he picked up his dribble. Lost the rhythm. Mobley inside. Oh, that's tough. Clowney tried, but, and I actually, to his credit, thought he hit him at the summit, but Mobley was able to power through that and score through contact and get an extra free throw on top. So the Nets are down 6. It really feels like they don't have any weakness. Like, they can play Garland and Allen together. They can play Mitchell and Mobley together. You really don't have any weakness at any time of the 48 minutes. They're so well balanced, I think is the correct word. Williams to the corner for Wilson. Knocked away, and it'll be net ball on the baseline. Levert was the man who flung it out of bounds. 6-point game, 90 seconds left in the opening period. And the Cavaliers have gotten 12 from Donovan Mitchell. He's the high man. Clowney will get it off the inbound. Was looking for Schroeder, but that wasn't an on offer. And now Wilson's going to drive in. LeVert comes over. Milton is going to have to put one up from way downtown. It's off. And a rebound by the Cavaliers. They just look like a team hungry. LeVert inside. Mobley in the corner. Doesn't have the space he required. LeVert will feed Mobley again, who's got Schroeder in a mismatch. Numbers collapse, and that's thrown out of bounds. So a good double there by Noah Clowney. That length worried Mobley a little bit, and that pass was errant. So the Cavaliers have only attempted 14 shots, and it feels like they haven't attempted too many shots in the last couple of minutes. But they are shooting at lights out. They've only missed 3 shots in the game. The Cavaliers, 6 turnovers, however. Schroeder, Wilson up top, and the 3 is off. But Clowney nearly secured the rebound. It went off hands, though, and straight to Mitchell. Flung across court. Niang sets the feed. It's off, and the rebound is going to go. What? No. Challenge that bullshit. Challenge it. Thank you. Challenge the call. That is just fucking ridiculous. We're exhausting challenges in the first quarter because this lot can't see who the ball's gone off. Actually, wait. Didn't he grab the ball? Wait, didn't he? Wait. Bro, he grabbed the ball after it. Wait, so that's off Milton, actually. But does the ball stay in and then Niang just collects the basketball while stepping on, like, outside the field of play? If you look at it before Niang grabbed the basketball, I feel like that could be an overlooked part of this challenge here. But Geordie is very, very aggressive with the way he challenges decisions. Like, I guarantee a lot of coaches won't blow it on something as simple as an out of bounds call, but Geordie's not afraid to use it, which I sort of admire. Maybe a little bit of a rash idea, but why not? You know, take a chance, and if you lose, well, you lose, but you know, decisions in the first quarter, fourth quarter, third quarter, all the same. Have equal weight. Oh, that's so tough. I think it's going to be Cavalier ball. So I retract my insult that I gave to the referees. It looks very inconclusive. The replay center are working in overdrive here. I don't think they know what the hell they're looking at. This has gone on for a long while. I got no idea. I'm guessing as much as they are. Oh, actually, that is so close. But I'm still seeing that the ball bounced in play. Then when it went out, Niang's grabbed the ball while stepping out of play. It's such a unique situation. The referees are even looking at it. Oh, that is so close. You know what? It actually... The slower they play it, the more I think it's Niang. But then that... They're looking at the bounce of that ball. Did that ball bounce in the field of play? And then Niang's just collected it out of bounds when the play was done. Because then that's pretty clear. It's going to be our ball. It's not what I called it for, but we've won the challenge. It was worth the wait. That's so tight. Hang on. Wow, yeah, so the slower you play it, Niang actually gets his hand in front of the ball. And it looks like the way Milton moves his hand, it's not our ball. Sort of goes with the flow. So the Nets will pick it up in the backcourt. Schroeder's going to let it roll. 2 for 1, surely. Corner 3 for Zaire. Straight away, it's off. Rebound. Schroeder blitzes. Try to nab it out of Mobley's hands, but that was unsuccessful, and the Cavaliers are going to hold here. But the Nets do execute a 2 for 1 play. I imagine that was the drawn-up sequence, and now Donovan Mitchell picked up by Wilson way up top. Cross, 3, patented. You can't do anything about it. It's such a, dodgy shot for anyone that's not good at basketball. Schroeder, open 3 for Milton. He's got to hit that. He does, with 0.8 left, and that's going to do it. It's a 6-point game at quarter time. The Cavaliers score 34 off the back of Mitchell's 15 points, but the Nets hang around, and that's quarter time. So 34-28 the score. And if we look at the box score, well, the high man for the Nets is not who you expect. Schroeder has 8, but Finney-Smith also was 8. And, well, we've had quite a few three-point attempts. We've actually taken 15. It does not feel like that. Only 6 two-point field goals. So that zone the Cavaliers are playing basically means they're sweeping across on the drives and trying to interrupt. And they're forcing the Nets into kickouts, and we haven't been all that punishing. The 5-3s are keeping us around. The Cavaliers pretty even on free throw attempts as well. We've forced 6 turnovers, which that is huge for us. And that's why we've hung around, especially when you look at the field goal percentage for the Cavaliers. Imagine if they had a few extra shots as opposed to, turnovers. They would be probably... They would have dropped another 40-point first quarter if it wasn't for our 6 turnovers that we created. So, I think the key in this second quarter is going to be getting Cam Thomas the ball, but I don't think he thrives in a situation like this. He's been good at facilitating, though. And most of those 5 3-pointers we've gotten have been as a byproduct of him driving and kicking it out, which is what I just said. But the second unit haven't really been able to make the threes the same way the starters have. Overall, though, I'm liking the start. Noah Clowney's been pretty proactive defensively, which is good. He's got a couple of steals to his name. Alrighty. F the Nets. We do that to oppositions, mate. We're just that team. We ain't going to make shit easy. This year, you're going to have to earn every point you get. That being said, it's looked pretty effortless for the Cavaliers at times. I mean, Donovan Mitchell looks like he's taken the piss. Last night, I think he scored 14 points total in 20 minutes, and he's come out and scored 15 in a first quarter. As I said, Mitchell is like a Nets killer. There's been so many games where we've just had bums go off against the Nets. Like Ish Smith, back in his day was in his heyday, he was a Nets killer. I'm trying to think of any other ones, but it feels like Donovan Mitchell is the modern embodiment of that. Wilson to Schroeder as we kick off the second quarter. Gets inside the lob. Oh! What? How is that not free throws? He got fouled going up. What the fuck? That is the clearest shooting foul of all time. He's got bumped going up to complete the play. Oh, that is ridiculous. What a shambles. We're going to have to reload from the side here. Bounce pass to Williams, who weaves through, and he just threw it away. Merrill read the pass well before it was unleashed. Mitchell to the corner for Dean Wade. It's open, and it sits on the rim and is off. Williams is fighting for it. And we got a jump ball. And that's something out of nothing. It was a good rebound by Z, who got 12 rebounds last night. And he had 4 of those offensive. So he was very proactive on the glass. That time, though, I think with those long arms he's got, you can potentially knock the ball away if you're physical enough. If his hands aren't like a vice, there is an opportunity there. So it'll be Z with a pretty long wingspan going up against Donovan Mitchell in this jump ball. He's got the height on him as well, so this should be a win, but the NBA season is full of surprises, as we know all too well, and so we're going to get a jump ball here. What the hell is Mobley doing? Williams wins the jump ball, unsurprisingly. Keon Johnson's in the game. Schroeder was about to shoot the 3, but thought his way out of it. And now Wilson up top, guarded by Wade. The backdoor cut by Williams wasn't on. Wilson is going to kick it back out to Johnson, who takes it inside. Lost the ball and a turnover. Mobley to the corner for Niang. Gets inside. The kick out to Merrill. Pump fake. Fly by. And 3 is made. Every time Merrill lets off a shot, it's very unlikely he's going to miss. Johnson responds, though, with a 3. He didn't make a 3 last night. It was basically a black hole, to be honest. The Nets have made 6 threes. The Cavaliers have made 7, but the efficiency, there's a stark difference. Niang is able to get the flip over Zaire Williams. The Nets get into offense early because we don't want that zone to set up. Schroeder 1-on-1 with Mobley. Is going to drive. And the scoop is good again. And Mobley's got long arms, so that is no easy feat there. But Schroeder's done it a couple of times now. Merrill on the outside is going to drive. Zaire Williams nearly interrupted the pass. We've got a foul on the floor. It's Finney-Smith who will be pinged with it. And so that's why Finney-Smith went out after 5 minutes. It's because of that these small ball lineups that the Cavaliers are going to run out. A nice little correlation with our lineup. Doe at the 5 and Mobley is their 5. I imagine Claxton will come back in when Allen gets up off the bench. Ty Jerome's getting ready to check in as well, who scored 20. Mobley inside. Good move. Strong move. The Euro was excellent. He was able to gain a severe amount of yardage and get Wilson right under the basket where he wanted him. Schroeder on the outside to Johnson. Back to Dennis. Takes it in. That's a foul. Give us that free throw. And the Nets have done a good job getting to the free throw line early on here. 8-point lead the way of the Cavaliers. But the Nets being competitive still, despite all this firepower that we have to deal with. So Schroeder at the free throw line. 9:41 to play here in this opening quarter. And Schroeder makes the first free throw. 41-34 the score. Cavaliers will check in. It's Levert and Jerome on for Niang and someone that I can't name because I can't see. I believe it's Merrill to the bench, which is a good thing for us because we can't have those 3-point marksmen on the court for too long. Schroeder at the line for one more free throw, and that is good. So Schroeder's had a very good bounce back performance after a very slow start yesterday. It was 2 of 8 in the opening half, and he's already clocked up a ton of points here. Schroeder's going to come over and help, but oh wow. Schroeder went chasing Mobley, but Finney-Smith wasn't able to keep Mobley stationary for that blitzing to be effective. And Mobley's going to get to the free throw line here for a couple of shots. So Mobley at the line to shoot 2. With the lead at 6 for the Cavaliers. He did miss a free throw before. But he's redeeming himself here with these next couple that he's made. One more free throw to surface, though. 42-35 the score. And that's good as well. So, perfect trip there. Schroeder on the outside. Kick out to Finney-Smith. And that one is short. So, that was the only downside of taking him out 5 minutes in. He was riding a strong wave of scoring momentum. He'd scored 8 in quick fashion. A travel on Mobley. So a bit of a careless turnover, but yet again another dead ball turnover for the Nets to force. So 43-35, the Nets will get into a set here. High screen by Finney-Smith. Schroeder weaves inside to the corner for Williams. Schroeder's relocated, but Zaire did not see him. Johnson was open top of the key, but didn't get enough lift. And a board for Mobley again. And it'll be Mitchell who flings it across the court to Jerome. Wade, the 1-2. Jerome on the wing. The high screen set. He takes it down the middle. The backdoor cut by Levert. He nearly lost the ball. Jerome ends up with it. Levert, 2 to shoot. Step back. Foot on the line. And it's somehow rimmed out. I mean, that was 95% of the way through, and it still didn't go down. Schroeder to the corner. Finney-Smith, that pass was a bit loose. Johnson has it, though. And now Zaire Williams will give it to Schroeder in the corner. He's got 5 to shoot. This is going to be tough. He gets inside. The floater is off, but Wilson the putback. And the angle just worked out because it didn't hit the rim on the initial attempt by Schroeder, but straight in the lap of Wilson, who was able to fling it in for 2. And it's a 43-37 lead for the Cavaliers with just a little under 8 minutes to play. Mitchell's going to try cook here. Takes it inside on Johnson. And it was like the defender wasn't even there. It looked like a regulation layup. And he's got 17 in the match. He's been borderline unstoppable here. Schroeder inside. There's open three-point shooters everywhere because they're playing that collapsible zone. Schroeder's going to try another one, and that's not going to work. I mean, if we make him, it's all good, but it's a bit daring. And the Cavaliers can get this one up to a comfortable double-digit margin for the first time today. Mobley's inside on Schroeder, and that is just bully ball, and we're going to get a timeout at the 7-11 mark. Not the service station. We're talking about the scoreline. It's a 10-point game. Alrighty. What's up, Danny? Ivan, welcome back, mate. We've had so many back-to-back games so far. Just sort of crazy, actually. Well, we've had this back-to-back. Hang on. We've had this back-to-back. I'm trying to think of the other back-to-backs. We've definitely had a couple. Hey. All right. Denver-Memphis was a back-to-back. And Detroit-Memphis was a back-to-back. Interestingly, we played Memphis on both second legs of the back-to-backs that we've played already, and we won both. So we've actually responded really well to the previous night performance where we go on to lose. So every first leg of the back-to-back we lose or have lost, and every second leg we've won. So I don't know how many back-to-backs you're entitled to, but definitely feels like we've been working in overdrive a little bit early on this season. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe as well. If you are enjoying the play-by-play call. But so far, the Nets have been all right. This is the box score outlook at the moment. And Donovan Mitchell is just cooking. And even Mobley, man, they are stuffing the stat sheet. They're shooting the ball efficiently. They're just playing very simplistic, smart basketball. Mitchell's riding the hot hand. He's got 17 on 6 shots. I mean, that is crazy good efficiency. Cam Thomas has only played the 7 minutes in the game, but I imagine he checks back in here. It's basically like they're trying to ride the wave of, or they're trying to ride the energy in the second half. I think at the moment they're going with the second stringers really, with the more heavy minutes at the moment. And that's probably smart on the second night of a back-to-back. If this game is close, you've got Cam Thomas feeling a bit more refreshed. He's only got 14 minutes behind him in the first half. At least that's the most he can get. That's the most he can accumulate from this point, because he's taken a pretty sizable break. We've got a foul out front, and it's on Garland. I don't know how many he's committed, but it does feel like he's been in a little bit of foul trouble early on. Cavaliers up 10. The ball's going to get inbounded to Claxton, who also returns. Thomas nearly lost the ball. Then he lost the ball, and it's an easy breakout. Full avert. It's up to a dozen. And this is why Thomas is this is where he's going to struggle. I feel like this happens every time. The minute he gets blitzed, oh my God, that's such a careless turnover, J-Dub. Garland's open for 3. It's good. And it's another timeout. That was so quick. And I'm liking the Geordie timeout, though. He gave him 5 quick points, and he said, nah, that's enough. 2 turnovers, 5 points conceded in quick time. Enough's enough. We got to reset and go again. So the Cavaliers up 15 now. It's been a very effortless sort of 52 that they've dropped. Let's just go back to the box score, because Geordie's given us a bit more time to analyze this and break it down. The Cavaliers have hit 8 threes on 12 shots. They're 19 of 25 from the field. I mean, that is just ridiculous. If you look at the guys on the bench right now, 4 of 4, 2 of 2, 2 of 3, 5 of 6. It's cooked. And Garland hasn't even really done much. He's only scored the 7. And for the Nets, well, it's not awful. It's not hideous, but it could be much improved. We've had 19 3-point shots, which I imagine is what the Cavaliers have wanted to force. We've only taken 9 twos, hit 6 of them, taken 19 threes and hit 6 of them. So that's the real issue here. We can't get inside to relieve ourselves. Like, you know, that mentality of like, if you can't make threes, you've got to try and get yourself into a flow and attack the basket, and then those looks will open up. But the Cavaliers have made it very, very difficult to sort of play into that. And we've just been rinsed. So at the moment, yeah, they're sort of struggling to work their way through it. This is what happens when you play an 11-0 or 10-0 team. Like, they're 10-0 for a reason. They dropped 136 last night. I mean, that is just... And they didn't even really try. I think the Yes Network spewed out a stat before. They've scored 130 in like 5 games already, and we're 10 games in. Like, that is... They're on track for it again. Like, they've got 52 in 18 minutes. If they score 70, they're probably getting there. And by 70, I mean 70 in the first half. It's crazy how good they are. So, yeah, right now the Nets just can't buy a bucket. What they've got to do at the moment, though, is start getting stops and stop turning the ball over. Like, we just gifted them a free 5 after that timeout. So, this team's just got to garner a little bit of composure. The Johnson 3 is off and the rebound by LeVert. So, I don't know if that was the shot out of the, or the set play. Wade's open for 3 and it's off the board by Schroeder. So, we got to stop there. Dean Wade hasn't made a bucket yet. Johnson, bounce pass. Finney Smith open in the corner. It was a bloody air ball. And, well, Finney Smith has gone cold. Jerome in the corner, stood on the side. So another turnover for the Cavaliers. And they've actually been pinged a few times for stepping on that corner sideline. Yet again, though, it's these dead ball turnovers. We just can't break out in transition because they're all dead ball stoppages. They're turnovers. Thomas to Claxton. Calls for a screen. We've got a foul off the ball. It's LeVert, I believe, who committed the foul as Cam Thomas was cutting. So 5:35 to play here. Schroeder looking for the pass and Claxton shields. Thomas wants it. He gets doubled. Claxton's open. Johnson open for 3. Oh my... Did he bank that in? He banked it in from the corner. What the hell? That is actually ridiculous. LeVert lobs it up to Allen. It was a little bit lofty. Wasn't the right angle, so they roll it back out, and the 3's off. And the Nets will take it the other way. Johnson has made a fucking 3-point bank shot. A 3-point bank shot from the corner. That is ridiculous. What the hell? Are you kidding me? That's partially knocked out of play. Mate, I don't think even Steph Curry, for all the ability he's got, could do that in 100 tries. That is ridiculously difficult. And you couldn't do that if you tried. The Cavaliers are going to challenge this. Garland knocked it out of play, but Schroeder may have tried to recollect and knocked it off his hands. So with the lead at 12, Kenny Atkinson has obviously thought, well, this is worth a shot. They didn't have that fortune earlier in the quarter, but they could have a bit of a sniff here. 52-40 the scoreline right now. The Nets could be making a little move on the Cavaliers, and hopefully this goes in the Nets' favor. The Cavaliers are up 12 right now. Let's have a look. So it goes off the hands of... Oh, that's so tough. It looked like Schroeder initially, but the skin tone is like putting me off. I think it's going to be our ball. Maybe. This is a much quicker call than the earlier occurrence. Nope. Looks like they're going to confirm and consult. How many stoppages have we had in this first half? Feels like it's gone forever. Let's have a look. Okay. We've got the ball. Lovely. So the Cavaliers have lost their challenge. So they do not have one available. The Nets did use a challenge earlier for something very similar. However, it went in their favor. They still have a challenge in hand. So 52-40. The main thing keeping the Nets alive is, I feel like, the free throws and the turnovers we've created. Schroeder gets inside, the pass to Thomas, 6 to shoot. He's doubled, gets it to Schroeder in the corner, good pump fake. It's an open two-pointer on the baseline, and it goes down. We got the bounce. We've been a bit lucky with that. And I forgot to start the clock, so let me just realign it while the play unfolds. Levert's open for 3. He lets it fly. It's off. The board by Finney-Smith. The Nets are making a move here. Thomas. One-on-one with Garland, and we've got another foul, and we're getting free throws. We're already in the bonus, and I think that's Garland's 3rd foul. So Thomas has been very, very quiet. I forgot to update this as well. Gee, I've been a bit slack. There's just a few things I still need to get back into the swing of. That makes sense. Was it 25-31? I think that was the score. Thomas at the line for 2. And he makes the first. So we're back into single figures. I would live with anything around a half dozen at the break. Because we have shot the ball, well, not atrociously, but below average. And they have shot it lights out. They've missed 8 shots the whole half, which is just absurd to think. But it's those turnovers we've been creating, which have starved the Cavaliers of those, well, more opportunities to keep that high percentage up. Garland just lost his footing and traveled. Good job, CT. I'm loving what CT's done defensively the last couple of games. And he forces a turnover there. Garland just lost his footing and just threw the ball out of bounds. So the Nets can cut it down a bit more here. 7-0 run in the last minute or so. Thomas holds. Oh, wow. We got him with the jab step. The step back 3 is good. CT gets in there. That is actually the first field goal he's made of the game. And the Nets are on a 10-0 burst to get it down to 5. Okoro to the corner for Levert. Skip pass to Jerome in the opposite corner. Off glass. It's off. The board by Claxton. And he'll look for Thomas immediately. So the Nets making a play with Mobley waiting at the scorer's table. Thomas one-on-one. Oh my God, CT, you absolute idiots. It's such a cheap turnover. We didn't even get into a set. Oh, mate, that is just such a careless move. We're on a 10-0 run, bro. And you allow the subs to be made on top of turning the ball over when we have the momentum. That is just, you can't be doing that. Okoro in the corner. Drives on Thomas, picks up his dribble. Allen back to the outside for Garland. Allen rolls, numbers collapse. Good move. Good D, though, by Claxton. The Nets are going to break out in transition. Thomas pull up 3. Heat check is off. Why would you shoot that? Couple questionable moves there by CT. I mean, you make it. It's good vibes, but I'd rather the 2. Garland nearly had it get away from him. Allen had to sweep it up. It's a good find to Mitchell. In rhythm, it's off. My goodness, the Cavaliers cannot buy a bucket. They looked invincible. They've been stranded on 52 for about 4 minutes. Schroeder, nice no-look, and Claxton with the completion. And it's down to a single possession, the Nets of the last 12 of the game. And we've got just a little bit over 2 minutes to play here in this first half. It's Mitchell. Nice jab. Lost Finney-Smith. It rimmed out, though. That's so bullshit. We had the rebound as well. Oh my God, we could have tied the game. That's so killer. 5-point game here as we close in on half-time. Thomas step back 2, it's off. No one boxing out, so the Nets return the favor with those second chance points that we gave away about 10 seconds ago. So 1:44 left. The Nets down 3, and it's Mitchell who will be picked up in the full court by Cam Johnson. The high screen will be set by Okoro. There's the double. Okoro, swing. Garland open three. And splash. Back to 6. That's just good work. I mean, we had to blitz Donovan. Interestingly, Keon Johnson is waiting at the scorer's table with a minute to play. It's an interesting move. Claxton was held by Jared Allen, who was obviously a little bit conscious that Claxton was just going to blow right by him for an easy layup. Instead, it'll be free throws, and that's probably what you want, because Claxton has not had a trip at the free throw line for multiple games now. So 1:15 to play here in this opening half, and Claxton's free throw is good, making them punish. Dean Wade's in to close out the half, so they're going to go small ball here and try get Claxton out on the perimeter as opposed to at the basket. So 1:15 to play. The Nets have done well here. They trailed by as much as 15, basically halfway through the second quarter, but we called a quick timeout. Claxton converts truly on both free throws, which you can't usually say. But the Nets have responded really well. Here's Mitchell. Weaves through 2 defenders. Euro gets one up. Doesn't get the bounce. Off hands. Thomas with the board. The Nets have the numbers? No, they don't. Here's Thomas. He's going to let the clock wind down, and now he's in a switch, guarded by Dean Wade. And now Garland will match up on him. 1-on-1. 4 to shoot. Stops. Squares up. Doesn't get the bounce. The board by Mobley. Not the shot. It did not leave Thomas's hands the whole sequence. Mitchell forced out into a pass. It is too open, but it's well short, and it's off hands. It's going to be Cavalier ball. That is incredibly stiff as well, because we forced another miss. Well, I think that's a little bit debatable. Johnson was about to check in. He had taken the top off, and then within 3 seconds, the top was back on. So now, the Cavaliers will reset here with the same group to contend with. Wade in the corner, extra, another extra. Mitchell gets by, the closeout, Okoro corner 3. It's an air ball. That's our ball. Give me that. And we can get this down to either 2 or 1, which is baffling given where we were at halfway through the period. Levert's going to check in for defense. And Thomas, I imagine, is going to cop a heavy amount of attention from Levert, even though Garland played very good defense on the previous sequence. So Schroeder is going to hopefully breach that. Levert's actually playing off ball on Claxton in his own. Thomas in the corner. Lost the ball. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Tripped up. And it's going to be free throws. 1.6 on the clock. And Levert's tripped up Thomas on the drive. It's going to be 2 shots. And that is a heavy bailout. I mean, if that play was allowed to continue, Thomas did have... Well, he did find Claxton in the corner on the full. And Claxton did put up a 3 and miss. But it's happened before where Claxton's made a 3 from the corner. So perhaps if the play was still continuing and the ref didn't call it off, then maybe we would have a different result. But here we are with the 2 free throws, and Thomas converts the first. So it's a 1-possession game, and will be that way going into the halftime break, unless the Cavaliers can make a prayer of a shot here. Thomas makes both, and they're going to look for someone in the full... Well, they're going to fling it full court. Straight to Levert. It's a half-court heave. And, well, okay, well, there's not a minute left, but it's halftime. That was flung off the backboard with ferocity. It is the halftime break. The Nets are down only 2. What a performance in the back end of that second quarter to give us a fighting chance to potentially steal this one away. Great second quarter. It was actually 34-28 at quarter time, so I didn't account for 3 points on both sides. But that second quarter, we outscored them. And we looked absolutely cooked midway in that quarter. I'll tell you that much. But the Cavaliers, their offensive flow started to slow down at the back end of that quarter. And they've wound up only leading by 2 at the break. So we love to see that. It is, well, the second night of a back-to-back, and we haven't really been playing like that. We've been playing like a team who is hungry for a W and hungry for, well, to break this win streak that the Cavaliers have been on. Cam Thomas is 1 of 6, and I think that is a huge positive that we're only down by this quantity, even with Cam Thomas shooting 1 of 6. He's been at the free throw line a fair chunk, though, so that sort of makes the numbers look a little bit more appealing. The ball, when he was getting dimes, I think that was the best version of the Nets offense today. Dorian Finney-Smith, he started to cool off a little bit in that second quarter. He made, I think, 2 of his first 3 threes. He missed a couple, but Schroeder's done well. Schroeder has 14. He is the high man for the Nets. He's hit a couple of threes. Good response after last night. Well, he'd made the same amount of field goals in a half as he has done tonight threes. So getting some good contributions. Claxton with 6. Johnson with 10. Yet again, doing a little bit of everything. I'm liking Cam Johnson's scoring profile this season so far. And he is in the positive. Most of the Nets are in the positive, actually. I think all the starters are. Is it? I think so. Mobley's got a double-double at the half, though. He is the main issue. I think, well, in terms of big men, I haven't even really acknowledged Jarrett Allen's existence. He's been an absolute no-show today. And he's played 14 minutes. Doesn't really feel like that because he was off for so long. Garland's got 10. I don't know about personal fouls. He's got 2, looks like. So he's been pretty hyper efficient. And Donovan Mitchell as well. I mean, 17 points on 9 shots. He's made 5 threes. They're going to have to win this game through him. They've had some nice little supporters in that as well. But, Donovan Mitchell's going to be the main man, I do believe. Overall, though, when you look at the box score and you see the Cavaliers are shooting 21 of 38, well, it's pretty damn positive that we're only down 2, even though they're shooting at that mark. They were shooting the ball lights out about 6 minutes ago. I think it was at 19 of 27. And they had made 8 of 12 threes at one stage. So they've gone 1 of 8 from 3 since that point, and they've gone 2 of 11 since that point. So heavy reliance on the 3, but when the 3s aren't falling, much like Boston yesterday, it's caused quite a few problems for them. The turnover count for the Nets is at 7, but we have forced 9. So we've been pretty proactive there, and we've not missed a free throw. That is so important, especially when we've been forced out to shoot a lot of 3s. The fact that when we go inside, we've been able to convert that into trips at the free throw line, that has been a huge plus. But that being said, we've shot the ball not as bad as I expected. Cavs are 21 of 38, we're 17 of 38. It's not that drastic. And earlier on, 6 minutes ago, I kid you not, it was Yes Network said Cavaliers were shooting 70%, the Nets were shooting 41%. And now the difference is probably something a lot less lopsided than that. I mean, let's do the math. 21 divided by 38 is 55%. So they're shooting 55% and we're shooting 17 divided by 38, 45%. So it's slowly evening out. I think the Cavaliers dropping off has been the big thing out of all this, for sure. So overall, pretty ecstatic with the way we've gone about it. Yeah. But there's still a lot of basketball to be played here in this first half. We haven't seen the same contributions from the bench in comparison to what we saw yesterday with the likes of Zaire and Jalen Wilson wasn't great yesterday, but did a couple of nice things. Even Shake Milton's been getting minutes in the absence of Ben Simmons, so I imagine those minutes will be occupied by Ben or like a Trendon Watford when he comes back, but he's still out for weeks. So in the meantime, you'll keep seeing the guys or guys like Keon Johnson and Shake getting a bit of extra run. So overall, very, very happy with the way we are placed. As I said last night, if we play every game like this, or if we are in every contest, I'm going to be happy with it regardless. Whether we win or lose, I'd love to see us get a win. And especially today, I'd love to see us beat the Cavaliers. We were this close against Boston. We were this close against Denver. And the Cavaliers, even though they don't have a chip to their name in the last couple of years, they've got a fair amount of credit chalked up to their name. So overall, we have a sniff. We have a sniff. But let me know what your thoughts are going into this halftime break, or in this halftime break, because right now I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we can. Like, we looked like we were going to get cooked, but we ended the half on a 17-5 extended run. So, pretty happy with that. And the Cavaliers sort of have crashed back down to earth. They are human, in fact. So, they're only shooting 45% from three. That is still a great mark, but they were on track to do something very, very similar to what they did in the first half last night. When they had 52 points with about 6.5 left, they were destined for 70 in the first half. So the fact we've kept them under 60 and, we're going to be entering the second half with a one-possession game. That's the dream right there. That is the dream. So, alrighty. I don't think there's too much going on around the grounds. Chicago are playing Atlanta, and who's playing in that? Levine's got 14 on 6 shots. Jalen Johnson, beast. 13 on 3 shots. That's nuts. Clint Capella's doing bits. 16 in the first half. Wow. I don't know what... Well, Vucevic is getting cooked. And Utah beat the the Spurs. Sexton, 23. Clarkson, 16. Collins, 15. That is a weirdly constructed roster. Wemby with 24 and 6 threes. He had 24, 16, and 7 blocks. That is cooked. And Stefan Castle got 23. Vassell, 21 off the bench in 22 minutes. That's hyper efficient as well, but they still lost. I don't know how you lose with 7 more threes made than your opposition. Anyway, we're at the break. And we can just chill. We can just relax. Yeah, what are your thoughts about the first half? If you've got any thoughts, chuck them in the chat, and we'll break them down. But this is a Nets team that you can properly root for. Like, you love to see it. It's so funny to see on Twitter, everyone saying the tank is back when we're getting smoked, for us to all of a sudden then reel that take in and say, well, no. No. This is not happening. We're gonna scare the Nets fan base. All right. I think you know what needs to be discussed though. I think one of the main problems in the NBA right now is the injuries. Injuries are occurring everywhere. And I feel like it's at an all-time high almost. Kevin Durant's out for 2 weeks now. Ja Morant's ruled out, I think, indefinitely. These are good players. Good players. So, yeah, I mean, you just take one look at that what's it called? Underdog NBA, which is like the fantasy, or like it's NBA news and lineup alerts. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. The amount of like that account is working in overdrive because there are just injuries upon injuries upon injuries. Davis, he's going to be all right. Yeah, Kevin Durant to miss at least 2. Zach LaVine limited to minutes. Like, Giannis has been fighting a few little niggles. Jaylen Brown's been out. Yeah, Ja Morant's pretty indefinite. Like, Joel Embiid, of course, is still out, but I think it's not injury related these days. It's the suspension for that reporter saga. Dawnfall, doing good. Doing good, doing great. Doing even better with this this current situation with this game. Because I didn't think it was going to be this close. I didn't think we were going to actually go in the half, at least maybe 25 minutes ago, with this deficit. It gives us a fighting chance to get the W, which I would absolutely take. Absolutely take. That's all I want to see. I've made it very clear. I don't care if we win or lose. I think the more common rhetoric is that we lose, but I wouldn't... Like, if we win, I'm not going to complain about it. Especially if we beat good teams. We have played or beaten good teams. We've played good teams. We've beaten good teams. It feels like I'd love to see like a breakdown of the fixture difficulty based on like previous seasons, like records from previous seasons. Because it honestly feels like we've had one of the most difficult schedules in the whole NBA. Whoa, I've just moved the whole thing. That's crazy. Like, playing Memphis twice, playing Denver, playing Boston. We're playing the Knicks twice in a week. We're playing Boston again next week. There's a lot of tough games in there. We needed Ben's defense for this game. Mitchell has never played good against Ben. It's a good point. It's a very good point. Your comment about Ja concerned me, just checked. Yeah. It's a bit of a dodgy one, that situation there. Like, the Grizzlies really have not had any continuity so far this season. They've had a lot of lineup changes and stuff. Do they even have a center? I don't even... like. Well, they've got Zach Edey, of course, but it's a lot to ask, you know, for a rookie to have to carry so much weight in his first season in the NBA. So, like, Memphis have Brandon Clark off the bench. Jay Huff. Jay Huff isn't actually playing too bad. He's actually a sniper from 3, but... yeah. So, I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting second half. I'm so excited to see what version of the Nets we get. If we go off in this third quarter... I'm not even a beer drinker, but I'll drink some beer. Alrighty. Let's see what the Nets have got cooking. Alright. All right. We're underway. Third quarter has commenced. The Nets have the ball, so we can actually take the lead. What world are we living in where the Nets are competing against contenders like they are one of the contenders? Thomas gets inside. He got past Garland and he scored for 2. The Nets have tied the game at 57. Who would have thought we were going to be in this position? All of a sudden, the Cavaliers look very beatable. Garland, wow. That had some venom on that pass, and it went straight through the hands of Okoro. The Nets can lead. We're on the second night of a back-to-back, ladies and gentlemen. When will we tire out? Will we tire out? Thomas, the switch. He's got Garland picking him up. One-on-one. He's on an island. Gets inside. Lost the ball. And Garland commits the foul. So it's going to be Thomas at the free throw line. And he's getting that superstar whistle, which we love to see. Gee, that's a little bit of a soft call. I don't know how you can say that's a foul. Regardless, you take what you're given. And Thomas is shooting more free throws. He will enter double figures if he makes at least one of these 2. And the Nets will lead if he does that, which they have 58, 57. The Nets were down 52-37, and they have gone on an almighty run to not only halt the Cavaliers on offense, but because of that, go on an admirable run bridging the second and third quarters. The Nets have not led since 9-8. It's Okoro to Mitchell, and the assignment has changed. It's now Finney-Smith picking up Mitchell after Finney-Smith took on Tatum last night. Mitchell has to shake off Finney-Smith, and he misses the board by Claxton. He's going to take it himself and push Allen as he takes it end-to-end, but he hands it off to Finney-Smith, and the Nets will pass around the perimeter. Johnson picks up his dribble, out to Schroeder. One-on-one, skip pass. Johnson on the catch over Allen. It's good! We're up by 5. Let's go! Come on! Mobley. Kick out to Garland. Let's get another fucking stop. Come on. Cross. That's filthy. Pass to Allen. He lost the ball. Johnson stripped him. It's going to be a turnover. Let's go! Come on! Oh, I'm so fucking G'd up. Come on. 10:05 to play here in this third. The Nets have started out the gate very positively. Very, very interruptive. Here's Thomas, and he's just thrown it to Mitchell, who looked like he had springs in the legs. Okoro the layup. He blew it. Mobley missed the putback. Get that ball. Go! Johnson. All the way! The hammer! Ah! Okoro the response? No! We get the board. It's another 9-0 burst for the Nets. Come on. Schroeder. Opted not to shoot the 3, but he got it back from Johnson. He's going to look while they want Claxton in the post. He shoots instead. It's good! Timeouts! We're up by double figures, baby! Let's go! Oh my goodness, off the rip. The Nets have shell-shocked the Cavaliers. All of a sudden, it looks like a page is being taken out of the book of last night. It looks like there's a lid on that Cavalier rim. And the Nets. It's so early. It's so early in the third, but I can't say I expected this out the break. We love that. Come on. 67-57. This is not a typo. It may not last long, but I tell you what. I got a bit of energy. Now. Cam Johnson is 15 points, bro. The trade value is going up, ladies and gents. I mean, for CJ and Dennis, especially Cam J, though, Thomas has quietly gone up to 13 points. He's only taken the 7 shots, though. He's at 3 turnovers, which is not ideal, but he's doing a good job, despite his shooting struggles from the field, to get to the free throw line and still keep that scoreboard ticking over. We did say pre-game, all 5 starters needed to be in double figures if we were going to win this game. And right now, very well positioned to see that become a reality. The Cavaliers have not scored here in this third quarter. We have scored the first 12 of the quarter after we scored 12 in a row in the second quarter. And so it's headlined a 25-point swing from halfway through the second quarter. This is absolutely insanity. That doesn't even make any sense grammatically. This is absolute insanity. This is absolutely insane. We may actually be well coached. I don't think I've been able to say that for a long time. Well, I hope it's not fraudulent, but I'm liking this very much. Love that. Alrighty. Timeout is up. The Nets lead by 10. 2 and a bit minutes here in this, or into this third quarter. The Nets have, well, fed off some energy that I didn't think they had. That pass has been deflected. What? We nearly had a kickball. We got done in by a kickball, but I don't think that was a kickball. It like hit the knee. What a fucking bailout. It's hit like his thigh or something like that. Come on, man. We nearly had another steal. Dean Wade is getting pressed. Allen isn't even in. Merrill's also come into the game with Dean Wade. Mitchell is blitzed, forced into a pass. It's Dean Wade who drives it in. Mobley with the push shot, and he scores as the clock expires. That's a tough break for the Nets because we probably should have had a steal and then they've exhausted their full 24. So the Cavaliers finally score, but it's been an extended 30-5 run. Unbelievable against the team who has not lost yet this season. It's Claxton. 4 to shoot. Johnson's going to have to put one up. Nope, it's not him. Finney-Smith does, though. And we run out of time. He was looking for the lob to Claxton, and maybe with an extra 3 or 4 seconds, we're fine. That Mobley shot is not going to count. The Mobley shot's not going to count from a previous possession ago. That ball was definitely still in his hands when the clock expired. So I would imagine those 2 points are going to be chalked off pretty quickly, but we'll keep him on there for now. We'll correlate it with the broadcast. Merrill doesn't have room to shoot. Mobley stood on the sideline, and we have another turnover for the Cavaliers. 8:04 remaining here or 8 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. The Cavs just look, well, I said well orchestrated in the first half, but they look very dysfunctional in the last quarter or so. In the last 9 or 10 minutes of game time. We have not missed here in this quarter. The Cavaliers are 1 of 5. And that's not considering the turnovers that have, transpired on that end of the floor. Here's Schroeder on the outside to Thomas. Guarded by Wade. The screen is going to be set. And we've got another foul. And I was looking at the Thomas Garland matchup so heavily that I didn't see the foul off the ball that occurred. So those 2 points have been taken off by whoever does the clock, the scoreboard, whatever. So the Cavaliers are back down to 57. They still are yet to score here in this quarter. So Schroeder on the outside. We have an opportunity to buff up the lead. It's Thomas for three. Yes! Come on, baby! I thought the Cavaliers were going to hit 70 before the half. And here we are with the Nets up 13 having hit 70. Wade, the drive in. Stops, waits. The two is off. The board is going to go the way of the Nets. No, the Cavaliers. That is... Oh. That's so close. This is incredibly bold. Geordie has taken off Schroeder and Finney-Smith, and we've brought Milton and Clowney into the game. Definitely defensively going to be good. Mitchell has gone to the bench for the Cavs. Mobley, oh wow, that's a filthy throwdown. And they've finally scored. It's taken nearly 5 minutes of this second half for the Cavaliers to exit 57. Thomas going to drive on Garland. Oh my God, that was a tough shot. It's off, but the Nets chase up the rebound. Thomas is open, lets the defender fly by. Oh my God. All around the rim, it was off. The Cavaliers will work to get a shot here and bring it back into single figures. It's Levert to Merrill. That's a tough three, and it's off. It went off the rim twice. Clowney did well to time the jump. Thomas takes it inside. Stops, lost the ball. Merrill with the steal, and Garland has got the ball now. Guarded by Clowney, drives baseline, kick out, Levert's open. That is regulation, but he's missed. And now they just cannot buy a bucket. We're nearly halfway through the quarter, and it is a mirror image of what happened in the first. Johnson! 3! It's a 14-point lead! Wade, that's an open look, and that's just money. The Cavaliers, until that three, had scored 2 points in the whole quarter. Make it make sense. The same shit as last night. That is mental. Claxton, the spin. Lofty pass back out to Cam Johnson as he picked up his dribble. Drive in, spin, stops, step back two. Oh! CJ, deep in the bag. 13-point game. Garland one-on-one. Clowney does well to remain with, but Garland converts, and it's back down to 11. So we just got to make sure we don't get into a shootout with these guys. Keep making these buckets. Thomas on the perimeter. The high screen set by Claxton. They're playing that zone bullshit again. Johnson is feeling it. It's off. The board by Wade, and there's a foul, and it was Milton who was trying to get that steal and intercept, but instead a foul, and the Nets will be able to play half-court defense. Mate, Cam Johnson is playing some classy, simple basketball, but just with a little bit of tech in there. A bit of tech. So Zaire's into the game. We got Zaire, we got Clowney. Garland trying to cook. Good extra feed. Allen misses. And then Zaire. I thought he had blocked him, but it's going to be 2 shots for JA at the free throw line. We're playing small ball with Allen on the court for the Cavaliers. That is bold. Good partial block there by Clowney on the first try. Couple of free throws here for JA. Jared Allen has just been an absolute no-show tonight. But first free throws coming up here. And he is finally on the board for the Cavaliers. Let's just make sure we don't lose this lead, shall we? Johnson's going to go to the bench after a great stint in the 7 or so minutes he played here in this third period. Mitchell's back in. Allen makes both. It's down to 9. So Johnson, Milton, Clowney, Zaire, and Thomas the 5 on the floor. It's 4 bench pieces with CT. Here is Thomas. Moves inside. Beautiful, but Allen with the block at the summit after Johnson got up there. He wrestled the ball back. Thomas the step back 3 is off. Wow. I mean, these Cam Thomas shots are bold, but we really don't have the offensive firepower on the court right now, and Allen's just going to cook. Mate, we're running just a shit lineup to contend with Allen. We've got Twigs on the court for bigs. Thomas is going to need to be a facilitator here. He's got it here on the wing, guarded by Merrill. Pass to Milton, who walks a tightrope, keeps it alive. Johnson through the middle. Lob. Clowney the completion. 77-68. 3:30 to play. Mitchell is blitzed. Loopy pass to Merrill. Allen rolls. And he missed the bunny. Oh my goodness. And then Johnson, what is he doing? Oh my God. Get that ball. Get that ball. Good boy. Shake flings it ahead. This is hectic. Thomas is open. Drive lost the ball. It's going the other way. What a frantic possession. We forced the Jared Allen miss. Johnson and Allen fought for it on the floor. Milton wrestled it away. Oh, Jesus Christ. But Cam, man, he's got a lift, bro. We've got an opportunity here. And Cam is just turning the ball over way too often. Way too often. So the Cavaliers are going to get it out of this timeout, but the Nets lead by 9. And we've done a pretty decent job. I mean, that third quarter start was electric. We lead now by 9 with 3:07 to play here in the quarter. How are we up 10? What is happening? I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. It's quite the sight. If you are enjoying the stream, drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Pals in a couple of days' time. I'm actually gobsmacked. I cannot believe we're winning 1, but winning by this margin 2. Cam Thomas though, he needs to just wake up. I don't know what side of bed he woke up on, but 13 shots for 3 makes on top of the turnovers. He's got to clean it up. He's got to clean it up. And it would help if he does a bit of facilitation. Johnson's got 20. It's been the most quiet 20, but he scored on 10 shots. And I said this multiple times last night. I've said it tonight. Today. He's taken 10 shots, but we've got an even split between 3s and 2s, and he's been to the line. That is massive net plus. Look at the plus minuses, though. Shake Milton's a -13 and Zaire's a -12. And then the starters, Dorian Finney-Smith is a +22. That is just ballistic to me. You can't make that stuff up. Alrighty. We've got what? Why did we review that? That was such a bullshit review. Why would you review that? That's so crazy. That's such a shocking review by Geordie. I don't know what that... It's a very bold decision to challenge that. So the Cavaliers are going to have possession here. Merrill's wide open for three, and the quick trigger's off. And Wade was there for the putback on the weak side, but it went straight over his head, and the Nets can get it back to double figures. Milton to Zaire. Gonna look for the pass. Oh, that's too easy. That is so stupid, bro. You gotta be more smart with these passes, man. Like, that's a very careless handoff. Very careless handoff. So 2:40 to play, 77-68. It's been a very high turnover game, 15-12. The Nets have 12. It's Mitchell to Levert. And now the high screen used. Allen, good cut. Oh my God! He nearly tried to put Clowney on Sports Center with that dunk attempt. It wasn't successful though. Milton, the driving kick. Clowney, the three. Nope. Board for Dean Wade. Mitchell is denied the ball by Zaire, so Wade brings it up himself. Gets by. Allen inside. Stops. Pirouettes. Misses. It's good D by Clowney. And I think we're just going to slow things right down here as we enter the final 2 minutes of the third. The Cavaliers have been held to 11 third quarter points. Thomas with 7 to shoot. He's got Allen on him. Cross through the legs. Drive. Stop. Move forward again. Oh! That is unbelievable. That's so dicey. Levert the drive. The pass to Allen again down low. Oh, what? How have you called that a foul? Let's have a look. Well, not before we see the poster first. That was missed. Clowney's done a pretty good job, all things considered. Cam Thomas, I'm sorry. I was not familiar with your game, even though I already was. That is filth. It's Mitchell on the outside. The switch. Mobley rolls. Milton. No! No way. No way is that a foul. I'm pretty certain he just lost the ball out of bounds. It's going to be 2 shots, though, for Mobley because the Nets are in the bonus. They've been a little bit foul happy. That is such a fucking cheap whistle. What a bailout. So the Cavaliers down 11 with a trip at the free throw line. 80 seconds remaining, and Mobley is well short on attempt 1. Mobley has missed a couple of free throws tonight, today, wherever you are. And he's off on the second. Give me that. Would you believe this? The Cavaliers are shooting a worse percentage than the Nets. They were up 29% before. Thomas weaves through. It's a good screen by Clowney. It opens up an open man on the perimeter for 3. It is Keon Johnson making the shot. Oh my God, the clock is off. The Cavaliers have gone 3 minutes without a score. Offensive foul! Noah! Yes! Team-winning plays, or game-winning plays. I mean, that, like, my head is in that much of a spin with this performance in the third quarter that I don't even know what to say. I'm merging different scenarios together. We've got 50 seconds left in the third. The Nets are up 14. Here's Thomas. Doubled, skip pass, great find, open man again, Keon Johnson, same spot, it's off. Get that board, get that board. It's LeVert. We executed the 2-for-1. LeVert's going to take it inside, bounce pass to the cutter, back door, he missed it, but Mobley the follow, and it's back down to a dozen. But goodness me, that could have been very ugly if they didn't convert there and the Nets go on to score here. The Nets will hold for one. Thomas is doubled. Zaire to the corner for Clowney. We've got 7 to shoot. Zaire's going to try create himself. He takes it inside, and he had it knocked away, and we got 3.2. And this will allow the Nets to make any subs they want to make to get this shot up. But it doesn't look like there's going to be any changes from the Nets end, but from the Cavaliers end, Okoro's going to come into the game, who's barely played here in this third quarter. He'll come in for that assignment on Johnson, while Thomas will be guarded by LeVert here. It's going to be Milton on the baseline inbounding. They got 3.2 seconds to get one up. Get it in. Johnson, 2, 1, 3. Off. 3-quarter time. The Nets are up a dozen. This is unfamiliar territory, ladies and gentlemen. The 10-0 Cavaliers are down by a dozen. The Nets are playing great basketball. This is unreal. We held the Cavaliers to 13 third-quarter points. That is just ridiculous. We didn't even score the ball that great here in this third quarter. We scored 27. It's actually no more than we scored in the other 2 quarters. But the defense, the shot making by the Cavaliers has just gone completely out the window. And the Nets, I mean, this is our game to lose. This is our game to lose, ladies and gents. If you are enjoying, well, I am enjoying, make sure to drop a like. But if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. This is the equation as to how we've gotten here. Cam Thomas is actually shooting the ball very poorly. 4-14, 2 of 6 from deep. However, 6 dimes on his end has really helped, but he got a lot of those pretty early on. Keon with 6, but Cam Johnson, 20 on 10 shots. Schroeder, 17 on 9 shots. In the first quarter and a bit, we were talking about how the Cavaliers, had a significant amount of points on very few shots. But now we're talking about it from a net standpoint. It's crazy. The turnovers have been through the roof for the Cavaliers. We've had 10. They've had 14. And we actually have a better field goal percentage than they do. We've hit more 3-pointers. Granted, we've taken more. And we've been to the free throw line more and not missed. We've done a lot right. And we've played with a physicality that I don't think the Cavaliers were anticipating. Even with Noah Clowney playing the 5, Jared Allen didn't have his way all of the time. And he's only got 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting. In that third quarter, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he scored. And he's only taken 10 shots in the game. They're playing on the second night of a back-to-back like we are. Their starters played less minutes last night. Less minutes in comparison to ours. We've obviously had an overtime game. So, I don't know what to expect from this last quarter, much like I didn't know what to expect from the third quarter. But I tell you what, if we can outlast them in the first 5 or 6 minutes, we're going to be in a very good place to win this game. 12 minutes away, ladies and gents. This is a much more sizable buffer than we had last night. It's been good defense here in the second half. Mitchell, the kick out to Jerome. The corner to LeVert. Zaire closes down well. LeVert was able to get rid, and he got the bucket. The nice, soft bounce off the rim. So the Cavaliers start this last quarter much better than they did in the third, where they only scored 13 points. Claxton is in the game to start the fourth. Schroeder's going to get it off the handoff. And he's guarded by Jerome on the outside as he rolls it back out. Johnson gets by Levert. One more for Schroeder. The 3-point try is good. Dennis is on a heater. Right in the grill of the defense. It don't matter. He scores. Levert. Switch. Bounce pass to Mobley, who's going to back down Williams. No, he's going to face him up. Try get through. Zaire does well. Good boy. Did well to almost force a jump ball. Instead, it goes out off Zaire's hands. It's going to be, well, it's going to be Cavalier ball, but with much less time on the clock to work with. They've got 8 to shoot. It's Mitchell. No way. No way is that a 3-point foul. That was so ridiculously poor by Dennis. Yeah, that's a foul. You idiots. Why would you do that? Why would you reach? It was a gamble that didn't work, and Mitchell will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws. So Dennis did well on one end to make the 3, but then on the other end, just remove that advantage. And Mitchell should be able to cancel out the 3 on one end by making these 3 free throws the other. So the Nets up by 12. Mitchell has made his first, has made his second. He'll line up for his third in a few moments. If we can just withstand the run, like they're inevitably going to try, like they're going to be pressing, but we've just got to hold them off. And this bench, I mean, this bench almost has the game in their hands, really. Well, we've got 3 bench players on the court right now. Z, Johnson, and Milton. And then it's Claxton and Schroeder rounding it out. So we've got 4 guards or 3 guards. Here's Johnson down the middle, though. Extra feed. What? 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 That's such an intricate detail that they just picked up there to call Keon Johnson on a travel. The Cavaliers are going to go the other way here. It's Jerome who drives. Bounce pass to Niang who cut to the basket. The push shot is good. So I imagine they're going to target that here. With 10:20 to play here in this fourth quarter, the Nets are up by 8, and that's a soft foul to give away. It's Niang who commits it, and the Nets will get it in from the side. Let's see what we got here. Milton on the wing. Claxton in the middle. Shoots the 2. He knew he missed it. Zaire also did, but he wasn't able to anticipate it and chase it up quickly enough. Mobley with the board. Mitchell with the step back. It's off. The rebound by Williams. In the first half, that was going down. Nailed on. Schroeder on the outside. High screen. Drive. Forced into a kick out. It's Johnson who isn't afraid to shoot the 3. It's off. And I wouldn't have shot that. That's a pretty poor bit of shot selection. Jerome gets inside. Mobley. It's a jam. They're just attacking the paint like there's no tomorrow. It's back down to 6. The Cavaliers on a 7-0 run. The Nets have got to make a couple of baskets just to relax a little. Clax surely was getting fouled there, but they didn't call anything. Johnson had it knocked away by Dean Wade. Oh, no, it was Jerome, sorry. 9:15 to play. I wouldn't be surprised if, in the case that we miss and they score up the other end, I would not be surprised if a timeout's called. They've brought Thomas in early, and they've brought Johnson in early. So both players, great third quarters. I'd say, well, Cam Johnson's was absolute A+ tier. Johnson's maybe a B. Claxton on the outside. Very unorthodox defense here, but It favors the switching. Claxton, oh, he had Zaire open. He goes for Thomas instead, who scores the pull-up 2 like it ain't shit. And the Nets have it back up to 8. That's a bucket we needed. Good bucket to make. It's now Jerome to the corner for Levert over Williams. That's off, and the board by Claxton. The Nets can get this lead back up to double figures with a make, and that would be pretty ideal right about now. Schroeder the cross. Goes inside, rolls it back out the other side. Good movement by Johnson. He goes baseline. Pocket pass. Claxton the push shot. It's good. It's back up to 10. Loving the ball movement by this team. If the ball doesn't stick to the hands, mate, it's pretty hard to defend. Levert, baseline, pocket pass. Mobley. Oh, wow, that sat up on the rim for a second or two. But Mobley was able to get the kind bounce, and now Dennis is going to let a few seconds tick off the clock, and now Cam Thomas as we breach the final 8 minutes of the game. Schroeder handed it to Thomas. Thomas stops, lost the ball, poked away. 3-on-1 fast break. Williams gets back, and it's a 2 for Levert. I expect a timeout, and that's what we're going to get. It is the Nets up 6. But bro, Cam Thomas, mate, he is just in previous years, or last year, let's be honest here. Last year, he coped pretty well with the blitz, but today it just seems like he's really struggled. He's lost the handle multiple times, and the Cavs have gone up the other end. We talk about like those turnovers in the open court, and we talk about turnovers dead ball. And the Cavaliers, a lot more dead ball turnovers. I wouldn't be as mad if we were giving away dead ball turnovers, but these are way too easy. It's a cakewalk of a layup for the Cavaliers, and it's leaving the door open. Okay. If Sean Marks really wants to tank, CJ got to go, man. This man is I'm assuming you're saying 7 of 10 from shots. This is yeah. CJ's been really, really good for us today. Every game he plays well, the value goes up. That's the way you got to look at it. Alrighty. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on the stream. Ooh. Here we go. If we can just look, it's always going to be tough to close out a game, especially against a team who's so formidable. But if we can just keep it at like 6 to 8 points, I think 8's going to be the magic number here, because 6 points, you can make that up in 2 possessions. Even if there's 2 minutes left in the game, a 6-point lead ain't enough. But if you've got an 8-point lead, that looks a lot better on paper than it does. Well, than a 6-point lead does. Alrighty. Here we go. 7.5 minutes left. Let's see what this team has got. I'd say play through Cam Thomas, but I don't know if that's actually... I think that's actually more detrimental to our hopes of winning, because Cam's really struggled. That being said, he's gotten a lot of free throws, so it could be the go, especially if shots don't fall. But 7:46 to play, and we were in a very similar position yesterday. We had the lead, but then Boston made a run, and it was neck and neck basically the rest of the game. Come on, lads, let's get this dub. Claxton faked the handoff to Schroeder. He gave it to Johnson instead. The starting 5 for the Nets is back out on the floor. 6 to shoot. I don't really like what's going on here. Nothing's happened the whole possession. Schroeder drives, gets by the defender, didn't even hit the rim, and the Cavaliers got the rebound. Here's Garland up top. The screen by Wade. Pulls up for 3. It's off. It hits back on, and the board by Claxton. So those threes in the second half, the efficiency has fallen off a cliff. Thomas up top at the logo, the switch. He's got Merrill guarding him, which I'd imagine is pretty optimal. He tries to lose him. It's a contested 2, and it's no good. You got to pass the ball. If the shot's not on offer, just reload. Bring it back out. Start again. Too much ISO ball here for Cam in this game. Merrill gets inside, dump off, and Niang cuts it to 4. See, that's the difference with a couple of our sequences. Just distribute the ball. Don't make it look so obvious. Thomas is an open 3. He didn't shoot it. I would have shot it. Instead, he goes baseline. Good pass to Claxton. The pirouette and the bucket and the foul. That was so smooth. So smooth. Chris smooth. Good pass by CT. That had to be pinpoint precise, and Claxton with the left hand. That looks so classy. They don't have Mobley on the floor or Allen at the moment. So they're running a pretty, well, shooter-friendly lineup, but they're not that tall. So Claxton's going to have to... He's going to need to hold this shorter Cavalier team accountable. They're obviously going more offensive-friendly because they trail. Mobley's back in, though, now, as I say that. Claxton misses the free throw. Dorian Finney-Smith with the board. Johnson in the corner. We can go again and buff this lead back up. Schroeder picked up by Jerome. Cross. 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Oh, no. It's knocked out of bounds. Schroeder wanted a foul. There has to be seconds on the clock. What? Mate, the ball was out of bounds with like 1 on the clock, bro. They just let the clock run out. What are you talking about? Oh, that is so fucking bullshit. There's no way they've just allowed that. Not that it was going to equate to anything, but at least give us a crack. Mobley. I thought that pass was meant for him. Levert drives and completes the layup for 2. That was tough. It's a 4-point game. Good pocket pass by Schroeder. Well read by Jerome. They get it ahead. Levert with the jam. And we thought there was a travel. And you know what? There was a bit of a case made for it. This is the run, though. And the turnovers have piled up for the Nets here in the last couple of minutes. Jerome's been a big part of why they've been able to rake this back in. Levert's doubling Thomas. Open 3 in the corner for Schroeder. That is so off. Finney-Smith, the follow and the reverse. The miss was that bad. It was good. Dorian Finney-Smith, mate, he has been just incredibly invaluable with the stuff that doesn't show up on the box score. Mitchell, that's a tough 2. And another miss and a rebound for the Nets. Dorian Finney-Smith, his last 2 games, defensively, he's been clamping. Thomas gets inside. The help didn't arrive. He picks up his dribble. Schroeder on the outside, picked up by Levert. He takes it down the middle. He gets by. The layup's off. Claxton bats it back out. Johnson the reload. Yes! Back up to 7. And we have a timeout. Come on. 4 minutes. 7-point game. It's the vets that are actually pulling through with this. The vets are trying to avoid the tank. They're trying to get the value up. Jesus Christ. Doe. Claxton with the bat out to Johnson, who's just been hyper efficient as well. This 10-0 streak record is in jeopardy of changing. Could not say I foresaw this. I could see us competing, but on the second night of a back-to-back, we haven't shown signs of fatigue at all. The Nets have got 3 players with 20 or more. I cannot recall the last time that's happened. Cam has got 20. Schroeder's got 20. Johnson's got 23. Clax has got a double-double. Finney-Smith has got 10. What did I say pre-game? I said we needed all 5 starters in double figures, and here we are with that happening right now. The Cavaliers have got 21 out of Mobley. Mitchell has 20, but he's scored only 3 in the second half. He's only put 12 shots up. The Cavs have only made 10 threes as well. 1 made in this half, which is absolutely mental. They were 8 of 12, so they've gone 2 of 16. The Nets have made 15 threes. And, mate, this could be almost the best win we've had in quite a few years. It's actually incredible that we went neck and neck with Boston, and now we're doing it again with the Cavs, bro. This team, man, this team, enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like. And subscribe if you're new. We're back here for Nets Pals on, what day was it? Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't know. I think it was Wednesday. But you know what? I'm probably going to do a little analysis piece as well on either Cam Johnson or Finney-Smith. Because Finney-Smith has been unreal the last 2 games. Even Cam Thomas, I feel like his defense probably should get a bit of love. So the Nets are up by 7. They've kept Cleveland at bay. They have not had the lead, the Cavs, since they surrendered it in the third quarter. So here we go. 4 minutes to play. Nets up 7 against the team who have won their first 10 in the season. Garland flips that one up for 2. That was far too easy. And Claxton, as the help defender, never went up to contest. So 4 minutes to play, a 5-point game. There's a long, long way to go. Claxton's going to call for it up top. He hands it off to Thomas, who's going to drive in on Levert. And then he's forced back out to Cam Johnson, who's been excellent. 6 to shoot. He shoots a 3. He's feeling it. It's off. And a board for Mobley. I don't like that bit of shot selection. We never really attacked the paint. It's Jerome on the outside. He drives on Finney-Smith. He puts one up. It is a beautiful floater. And it is a 3-point game with 3.5 to play. Gonna need to get a bucket here. Schroeder picks up his dribble. He needs help. He gets it to Claxton. Back to Schroeder. Switch. Lob. No look. Oh my God. And if Schroeder wasn't going pedestrian, he could have swooped on that. The Cavs can tie the game. Garland has an open pull-up 2. It's good. And they've scored the last 6. And we've only just entered the final 3 minutes. That's a very quick, efficient 6 points as well. Schroeder nearly got pinged for the 8 seconds. I'll tell you what, that was very close. Oh my God. Claxton had it knocked away. We're going to get a jump ball. Clax was looking for a handoff, but Garland in the rear view mirror. Well, he wasn't looking in the rear view mirror because Garland just swept up the crumbs. Came up from behind him. And it's going to be a jump ball. So 96-95. It's just another game where offense doesn't mainly feature. It's been more defensively minded this game. 96-95. Both teams are going to graze 100 points. It's Mobley and Claxton in the jump ball. And it's going to be won by the Cavaliers. They can take the lead back. And if they score to be an 8 or 9-0 run, it's Garland up top. Switch. Garland. There's a whistle. And I would assume it's on the floor. And they've... What? Is it a foul? Like, is it free throws? I don't fucking know. I think it's free throws. Looks like it's going to be shots it's going to be shots. Geordie is absolutely frustrated. I love the passion. These free throws should go down, and it's tied at 96 now. The tank job is entered in the final minute and a half. I wouldn't mind another overtime game. Let's do it again. Let's do this all over again. Why not? So Garland at the line with 2.5 to play can give the Cavs the lead, and there it is. So they have scored the last 8, and the Nets have gone up empty. Schroeder to Thomas. And we're just going to hold it for quite a few seconds. 8 to shoot. Thomas, step back 3. That is ridiculous. What are you doing? Finney-Smith, beautiful heads-up play. The ball was going out of bounds. It was an air ball, but Finney-Smith pelted it off Donovan Mitchell, who was right in the firing line, and the Nets will have 3 seconds to put up a prayer. I don't know where that's going. It's going to Thomas. It's contested. He's got to put one up, and it was out of bounds. The defense or the offense has just completely fallen off. How does this always happen? It's because we just go Cam Thomas or bust, ladies and gents. It's Garland, picked up by Schroeder. 2 minutes to play. Switch, it's Thomas one-on-one. Garland will cook. Drive, extra feed. Claxton was in the air, and that was a beautiful dump off. Garland has taken control, and that is, as we said in the pregame, the main reason why the Cavaliers are 10-0. Garland's incredible emergence. Oh, wow. That is tough. I thought Mobley had gotten the block there, and it's going to be free throws for Schroeder instead, who was just able to inch his way clear of Mobley, who, of course, scored the 2 on the other end. Yep, that's a hold. On the off arm. So Schroeder at the line going to get a couple chances here to get the deficit down. We've got 1:39 to play here. And for the second time in 2 nights, the Nets are trailing in the final 2 minutes by a single possession against an incredibly good team. Free throw 1 is good by Dennis. We've got 1:39 to play here in the fourth. It is 99-97 the scoreline. The high man for the Nets is Cam Johnson. Could you believe it? Usually Cam Johnson picks the Hawks to go off against, but a different story tonight. Schroeder, the second free throw is good, and it's down to a 1-point game. If we can get a stop, which we've been pretty good at in the second half, then it could be showtime. Here's Garland up top. Guarded by Dennis. The high screen arrives by Jerome. They get that switch they're looking for. He goes past Thomas, and he scores again. Thomas is getting cooked. Every single possession, they just go with the switch, and Thomas is getting killed. He's getting blown by on every single possession that they run through Garland. Claxton looking for Cam Thomas. He's going to get it here. He's going to drive in. The step back 2, he had the space, and he converted. Tough shot. He hung in the air. We've got 1 minute to play. It is a 1-point game. Jerome picked up full court by Johnson and getting a severe amount of attention. They're going to look for Mitchell, I imagine, but Finney-Smith has done a good job of denying him the ball. Jerome will drive on Finney-Smith, get one up. Ty Jerome! They're fucking playing the offense through Ty Jerome, and he scored. Oh my God, Ty Jerome. That's crazy. And that's another play that OKC drafted, right? Or maybe it was Phoenix. I don't know. But here's Thomas. 30 seconds left. Are we going to do a 2-for-1 execution? Schroeder's going to put a 3 up. Oh my God, it's off. And we've got 2 seconds between shot and game. We have the trap. Oh! That was so close to an 8-second call. That 3 was an all or nothing. What have we got? We've got 20-something seconds left, I think. They've just gone to the floater game, and the Nets have not had the same level of ease. There's 18 seconds left, and that was the foul to give, so we're going to need to try and steal it off the inbounds here. They're very well spaced out, though. They're going to look for Mitchell. Oh, and they got it to him as well. The bastards. We're going to get a foul. 15.6 on the clock. The Nets are incredibly stiff, man. They just haven't had the... I thought with a 7-point lead with 4 minutes to go, we looked in a very good place, but we've gone to Cam Thomas way too much, and I didn't think that would be a bad thing, but it's remained glued to his hands way too often. And he just hasn't been able to lose the defender. He doesn't have pace. He's very shifty, and that's how he gets the separation, but he doesn't have the pace. The only positive out of this is that it's a 2-possession game, yes, with 16 seconds left, but we've got 2 timeouts. Mate, Garland and Jerome have actually carried. Mitchell's done nothing in this, like, down the stretch. So Mitchell makes both. It's a 5-point game, and we're going to get that, unsurprising timeout. With the Nets down 5... I tell you what, yet again, I have the same extractions from tonight as I did last game. What an absolute showing by this mob. Like, the Nets... the Nets had no business when they were down 15 in the second quarter, bringing it down to this. These close games are getting ridiculous. This is the new normal. And this is a good thing. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see that the Nets aren't like an easy fixture. Last year, I went into games already resigned to the fact we were going to lose. Or already resigned to the fact we're probably going to get smoked. But we have made things incredibly difficult for the Cavs. And given that third quarter collapse, you didn't expect that they were going to... you definitely thought that we were going to take it down to the wire, as we have. But the real issue I have is that we've conceded 35 points here in the last quarter, and we've scored what? 18? So we've had a monumental collapse. We led by 12 at 3-quarter time. So this is just a typical fourth quarter collapse that I feel like with a team like the Nets who don't really ever go to, it's going to be tough. But here we go. The Nets have their starting 5 out on the floor. We're going to need to score very quickly. What's the play? There is no play. The play's been erased. And we've got 7 to shoot. We haven't put a shot up. It's over. Yep, that's been swatted. Oh my God. We've used the whole clock. The game's over. The Cavaliers win. We didn't even get a shot up. That's great defense. And that's going to do it. 105-100 the final. Our defense has been very solid this year, especially in the last 5 or 6 games, but the offense has been leaving a lot on the table. We still had 3 players score above 20, but our bench unit is just a little bit, is looking a bit slender, a little bit slim. That is the final though, 105-100. And they only pipped us at the final hurdle, really. The Nets end off the last quarter, end off the game basically in the exact same fashion we did last night. We scored a poor amount of points, to say the least. I think that's about 36 in 2 quarters, in the last 2 fourth quarters. So yeah, we had 82 at 3-quarter time. They had 70 and they went out and scored 35. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't even the 3 ball. It was just exploiting the 2 like there was no tomorrow. And that floater game in the late game, they just targeted Cam Thomas and he got absolutely rinsed. So overall, a pretty valiant effort. We held them to under 50 in the second half, but I think the fact that you held them to a 13-point third quarter and they got to 48 and we still got outscored in the second half, that's a letdown. I will say that. But you know what? As I said, we put in a shift. But Cam Thomas, I put him in the spotlight, and I tell you what, I'm not sure if he responded. He had 17 shots and made 6, which seems to be his go-to stat line this year. He's gone 6 of 17 in, I reckon, about 3 games. And he had the 6 turnovers. We had 17 in the game, and Cam Thomas had 6 turnovers, bro. Schroeder with a great bounce back, 22 points on great efficiency, and Cam Johnson with 23, 4 made threes, good balance of scoring output. Clax had 10 and 10, Finney Smith had 10, and made some really good defensive plays. He was a team high plus 11, and he shut out Donovan Mitchell in the second half. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had only 12 shots for the game, and given he was on an absolute tear in the first half, that is a brilliant second half defensive performance by Dorian Finney-Smith. Mobley was absolutely insane, and he was one of the main reasons they won. Ty Jerome, I mean, he only scored 4 points, but it felt like he was so invaluable to the win. He had a plus 16, a team high, and Mobley missed 1 of his 11 shots. So very similar to that of a Zach Edey performance the other night. However, the Nets don't get the chocolates this time. Garland is the main man they played through in the second half or in that last quarter, and he was instrumental. 8 of 11, and then the turnovers. Well, look, I thought we played a pretty good defensive game, but we end with more turnovers, and I think that's what you put the loss down to. Not looking after the basketball. I think, Cam Thomas had a bit of an iffy game today, and I think by his own admission, he'd probably say the same. But we did very well to negate their 3-point influence. They only had 1 3 in the second half, which is absolutely insane. The free throw number, we had more free throws for quite some time there, but in the back end of the game, they just targeted the 2, and we really couldn't put a stop to them. They just exploited that pick and roll pretty well. Overall, though, that's another valiant effort that I can be proud of. I can fully get behind that. Why the hell are the Nets taking their time in the last possession when they have 15 seconds? Good Cavalier defense. That's what it is. We weren't doing that on purpose. The fact that they ran the play, but the play got erased instantly the minute the Cavaliers were solid on their rotations. Like, we just couldn't find an open man, and they were glued on defense. They were disciplined, and that's what happens. You can't find an open shot. Like, if we try to put up a shot 3 seconds into the clock, it's getting blocked. CJ's been scoring well. Yeah, that's been one of the more pleasant surprises. I'm really happy with that. One step closer to Cooper Flag. If this is the kind of loss we're going to become accustomed to, I can get used to it for sure. I thought the Brooklyn Nets were going to end the Cavaliers streak of being undefeated, but the Brooklyn Nets choke. We did choke. We just don't have the firepower really to close the game out, and we were in a very, very solid position, so they'll learn from it. But these are really positive signs. This is the Cavaliers, 10-0, and we took them right down to the wire. Same with Boston, same with Denver, same with Memphis. Mixed bag of results, but always we've played hard. So, credit to the Cavs. It's a good team. They closed out on a 19-4 run. That is telling. 16-4 run. That is telling. Rough stretch next few games, but the Pels look easy. No game is going to be easy for the opposition against us. We're playing Boston again. We're playing the Knicks a couple times. I go into those games very confident that we're going to put up a fight because of the way we have played in basically every match this season, barring maybe one or two. So for a team that was supposed to tank, that's a pretty good output to not put up stinkers nearly every game. I'm pretty happy with that. We didn't choke. It was just a bit of an experience. We did choke. Like, there's no other way to put it. We were up 7 with 4 minutes to play. And the game was in our hands and we couldn't get enough buckets down the stretch because we were in the position to win. We had gotten the stops to place ourselves in a very good position, but it's just sometimes the Cam Thomas hero ball thing is very easy to anticipate. I would have loved to have seen the ball zing around a little bit more as opposed to winding down the clock and, making it ISO ball. So that I feel is something that's just happened for like 5 or 6 years in Brooklyn. It always happens that way, and we've had closers in maybe half of those years with KD and Kyrie and those guys, but outside of that, it's always been like a Dinwiddie chuck up, or here we've got a Thomas chuck up. We beat them by 5 in regulation, and Boston beat them by 4 in OT. You can say the Cavs are better. I mean, well, the Cavaliers record-wise are better. But yeah, look, we were in a better position tonight than we were last night to win the game. Every day I thank God Spencer is no longer on the Nets. Well, look, I feel like there's going to be a few moves being made, especially with these performances by the vets, Cam Johnson, Schroeder, Finney-Smith. Good performance though. The fact that we got 5 players, all 5 starters in double figures. Yeah. Turnovers need to be cleaned up, but overall, as I said, that trade value is going up for these players. You shouldn't get rid of all of them because you need some vet experience on the team. But look, if we're going to lose like this every game, then I'm fine with that, I guess. Anyway, that's going to do it from me. It has been a brilliant first 2 days. We've come up losers in both matches on this back-to-back. 2 very tough opponents, but both games put up one heck of a fight. It's been good back on the streams. I will say that because it was a bit of a long layoff, not going to lie, especially having not made the playoffs, didn't do the first 8 or 9 games, but here we are. And it looks like we've got a good brand of Nets basketball to root for, which is grouse. It's great. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Make sure to drop a like on the way out. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. But until the next stream, which will be against the Pelicans, we'll be here for that. Until then, make sure to have a good rest of the day. We will chat to you soon. And see ya. Thanks.